I'm really sorry, I just can't help but feel a little underwhelmed by his gameplay. So NetherRealm has finally released the full gameplay for Brainiac, or at the very least a trailer that does give us a taste on what Brainiac could do for the game. Now, I've stated countless times at this point that Brainiac was my most anticipated character for Injustice 2, so I was very hyped to see what he could do for gameplay standards. But I'm really sorry, I have to be very honest, I'm a little disappointed. And just so we're clear, I am not saying that Brainiac looks terrible in the game by any stretch. I was just hoping a little more from Brainiac instead of him just relying too heavily on his tentacles is all. Because when you really think about it, we already do have a character that could do long range grab attacks. That character in question is of course Swamp Thing. But to its credit, at least Brainiac can do some interesting things with his tentacles. For instance, Brainiac could wrap himself with the tentacles and then cause some sort of shield in which could paralyze the enemies whenever they attack him. And honestly, I will admit, that is pretty awesome. And he can also summon all of his tentacles so that he could do a long range punch, and again, that is actually pretty creative. Or he could just go full Dr. Octopus and go insane with his tentacles by attacking from at least a good chunk of the screen. But honestly, the reason why I'm a little disappointed with Brainiac's gameplay is the fact that he uses too much on his tentacles, and with a character like Brainiac who is essentially a cyborg, you could do so much more with the character. And honestly, I was hoping that NetherRealm would at the very least incorporate some of his telekinesis or even his telepathy. And yes, I'm aware that Gorilla Grodd already has that handled, but surely there's some way in making Brainiac more unique in comparison to Gorilla Grodd when it comes down to telepathy or even telekinesis. Alongside his heavy reliance on his tentacles, Brainiac is also capable of summoning some drones that can float across the screen and either dash against the enemy or to shoot out some projectiles. Which is something Brainiac would do, and honestly I think that is rather interesting. But my favourite thing about Brainiac's gameplay is the fact that Brainiac could shoot a large beam from the sky. After seeing that, many people think that Brainiac might be a little overpowered for Injustice 2. But let's face it, Brainiac is the final boss, and do you really think that we'll be able to play as the character at the very beginning? If I was the betting guy, then I would honestly be betting on Brainiac being an unlockable character. But I cannot deny that Brainiac's super is actually pretty sick, as Brainiac summons his drone so that they could go strain his victim, so that Brainiac could summon his ship from the sky, only for the ship to go and decimate the enemy. Which is actually pretty reminiscent to Lex Luthor's from the first Injustice game, only better. And although I did say that I was a little disappointed with Brainiac's moveset, at the end of the day you could always edit his moveset a little bit so that he could do more things. Not to mention you also have the gear system which could improve Brainiac's abilities as well as his armory. But even with that being said, I still have high hopes that Brainiac could be something very special for Injustice 2. The reason why I keep banging on about him is because he is my favourite Superman villain of all time, and I just really want NetherRealm to do this character justice. So are you satisfied with what we've got for Brainiac's gameplay in Injustice 2? Comment below and share some thoughts. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, take care and have a good one.